All right, we're Mike, and here he is, the one and only Charles Barkley is with us. Charles, what's the most points you ever scored at any game, high school or any level?
I scored 56 in the NBA one time. That's my highest. But I don't know if I scored around 30, a couple 30-point games in high school, but that's it.
I mean, 92 in high school. I'd imagine, what if you're on the receiving end of that? Isn't there, not to, say this should be happening, but isn't there a way you want to put a stop to that?
Yeah, because, I actually saw highlights of the game. The kid was waiting at half court most of the game, never went back on defense. So I had a problem with it, to be honest with you. Because go look at the game. The kid waited on the other end of the court, and every time the other team shot a ball, they just threw it to him at half court or three-quarters of the court. I had a serious problem with that, to be honest with you.
He scored 92 points in 32 minutes. That's 3 points
Unreal.
a minute.
It's ridiculous.
All right, let's get to the important stuff here, Charles. Let's first just deal with what happened last week. As I said earlier, you basically eclipsed the Super Bowl, you and LeBron. You were the overwhelming topic of conversation during what is supposed to be football's biggest week of the year. So now that it's behind you and the All-Star game is right in front of you, and that is a Turner affair. So you will be front and center, and so will LeBron. In your mind, where does all of that sort of sit now, and what is your expectation for when you guys see each other next week?
Well, I expect when we see each other, we'll shake hands and just say hello. And I have nothing against LeBron. He's amazing. And what I said last week, I stick by. He got personal. I'm never going to get personal. I got a job similar to you guys. You get paid to give your opinion. Sometimes you have to say things people don't like, and that's just part of it. But I'm never going to say anything personal about another NBA player. I never discussed their personal life or anything like that. He got mad, but he's just mad. But listen, he's a great guy, but we're not friends. I've met the guy probably 10 times my entire life. He's always been cordial. I've always been cordial to him. But if I had to criticize him down the line, I would do that too.
Listen, I said it as well. Any former athlete that becomes an analyst, 99% of the people they analyze are not friends with. They're acquaintances with. Did it surprise you at all at some of the players like a Dwayne Wade or even a Draymond Green? And I can't believe some of the stuff he said about it, but that they came out and backed LeBron in this?
Not at all, because this new generation, they all stick together. They all play together. They're all AAU babies. So any type of criticism directed toward them, they consider it hate. Even if it's a fair criticism, they consider it hate. So, it does not bother me what the new generation thinks, to be honest with you. I know they all stick together. So that's just part of it, too.
My view on it quickly, Charles, and then I want to get to Phil Jackson here. My view on it last week was I believed that you fully thought that your comments were professional, and I think that LeBron took it personally when you used the words did not want to compete. I said this on the air last week, so I'll say it to you. I believe that you meant that as a professional criticism, and he took it personally. Does that make sense to you, and would it make sense to you that he might take it that way?
Well, I hope he did, because it was more a question. Does he not want to compete?
Yeah.
But I stick by my statement. I'm not backing down on that whatsoever. Listen, he can get personal. I'm never going to get personal on him. Do I wish he hadn't went there? Yeah, I probably wish he hadn't went there. I had fun with it, though. I had a list of things. I got great family and friends. They sent me a list of things that he missed. That I flunked Spanish in high school, and I got beat by Martha Stewart on Jeopardy. He missed a couple of screw-ups in my life. That's the only thing that I got mad about.
You didn't go deep enough into Google. Charles Barkley joining us, TNT NBA analyst. All right. Let's get to the one that I'm still waiting for someone to give me an explanation, and I can go, okay, yeah, I understand that. What in the hell is Phil Jackson doing?
He's trying to piss Carmelo off enough that he accepts a trade. Very simple. Carmelo has a no trade, and he's trying to make him so mad that he accepts a trade. That's the only thing it can be. I mean, he gave him a no trade. There's nothing he can do about it. He wants to start rebuilding, and he can't do it as long as Carmelo there, because he got Carmelo for another 3 years at $30 million a year. So he realized Carmelo only going to get older, and he can't start his rebuild until he gets rid of Carmelo. It's very simple. He's just trying to make him so mad that he accepts a trade.
You know, Charles, Mike brought up a really good point this morning that, and you actually just said it yourself, that the players of today stick together. Carmelo is a very popular player in the league. He and his group of friends are sort of the leaders of the league. So let's say Phil is even successful in this and Carmelo finally can't take it anymore and gets out. Won't the rest of the players in the league look at this and say that's how Phil treated Carmelo Anthony after all that he has done in his career? Why in the world would I want to go there?
Well, as Mike going to agree when I say this, once Phil give one of those guys about $25 million a year, they're going to pack their bags up and move to Manhattan as fast as they can.
But can't every team? Well, there'll be other teams that can give them the money.
That's my point, Charles, is in the max deals, which is way different than the NBA. If they can get the same money somewhere else, to me, isn't the difference then the people you're going to work for?
Yeah, but I think, listen, man, he can overpay some guys, and they're gonna go there. There's always gonna be guys who're gonna say, "Hey, I don't care what he says about me. He's gonna give me. I would make $10 million here. He's gonna give me 15, 17 million. No, I'm going to New York." So listen, Mike, money is a great deodorant to a lot of these guys. So no. Well, and listen, let's be fair. Carmelo took all that money, and he knew they weren't going to be any good. Mm-hmm. I mean, so you know, there's two ways to look at it. I mean, Carmelo took all that money, and he knew they weren't going to be any good. So he has to accept that also. That actually answers your point, Greeny. Yeah, a player's going to want to go to New York. Yeah, Carmelo, he took all that. He took an extra, I think it was an extra $30 million at the time, to stay in New York on a bad team.
There's no question. That's 100% true. It's the sort of public nature of the way Phil has gone about this that has surprised us. And, Charles, you competed against him at the very highest level. You faced Phil Jackson's team in an NBA Finals. Are you surprised that Phil's tenure in New York has gone as badly as it's gone?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I don't think it's gone as bad as people are making it out to be.
Tell me.
I think what happened to Phil, he took two chances, and it just didn't work. Think about it. If Noah and Rose played well, the Knicks would probably be a high seed in the Eastern Conference. Those two deals, think about it. Over the summer, everybody was happy with Noah and Rose going to New York, but neither one of them have played well. That's the thing that's hurting the Knicks more than anything. And now the only chip he's got is Carmelo. But listen, it has not worked out great for Phil Jackson, but you got to give that guy some credit. He talked Noah and Rose. He traded for Rose, but he signed Noah as a free agent. If those two guys have played well this year, we'd be having a totally different conversation. And I think that's what's got Phil the most upset, because now he's stuck with Rose. He's stuck with Noah because he got him for 3 more years. And now he's like, I got nothing now. He got a couple good young players. I like a couple of, obviously everybody likes the Zingers, right, but he's got another big guy who can really play. But until he gets rid of Carmelo, he's really just screwed. And I think that's what's got him madder than anything.
I would say, Charles, though, getting Rose and Joakim Noah, who's been an injury guy, I mean, still, you have to think was a bit of a reach. I guess my point is, and I thought this when Phil signed there, I said if Phil was a coach, maybe, but Phil is a president, and when I'm talking about guys paying money, I'm talking about max guys. I'm talking about the star guys. I just don't think Phil is ever going to be able to talk one of those guys and a guy that has some tread left on the tire to come to New York. Am I out of my mind in thinking that? I just don't think that's going to happen.
You know, Mike, I wish I could give you a 100% answer on that. Listen, but like I say, some guys want to be in New York.
Right.
So there's always going to be a young guy who's looking to say, if I go to New York and win, I can own the world. Think about it. Carmelo said that. Mm-hmm. If I can go to New York and win, I'm going to own the world. So, listen, I think the Knicks are always going to be able to get players because some guys like all that attention in New York. Like I say, he just made a mistake on Noah and Rose, and he's just like the only chip he's got. The only way he can start to rebuild quicker is to trade Carmelo. But I think sometimes Phil has gotten a bad rap. And I do agree, it might have been a reach on Rose and Noah. But listen, before the season started, a lot of people were high on Noah and Rose, and they just have not played well.
It's Charles Barkley who's working with Cheez-Its and Pringles and an opportunity that you can win to go play basketball with a bunch of NBA legends. Charles, what is it?
Well, we got a celebrity game at the Final Four. Magic is coaching. Unfortunately, Magic has got the Pringles, which to me is the greatest food ever. I'm the Cheez-It coach, and Magic is the Pringles coach. That's the only thing my agent screwed up on the negotiations. I should have been coaching Team Pringles. But we got a celebrity game at Chaparral High School the Sunday of the Final Four, the Crunch Classic celebrity. But now the good thing about it, you go to Twitter and online, we're going to have some regular fans who can get in the game. So that's the only cool thing about it. We're going to have some regular fans playing with the celebrities at the Final Four. It's going to be pretty cool.
Let me tell you what, completely on your side. I like both those foods, but I will pick Pringles 9 times out of 10 over that. I'm completely with you on that. I love the Pringles.
And leave it to Charles to make the plug funny.
Barbecue Pringles are the greatest single snack in history.
Amen to that right there.
Charles,
amen.
We are out of time. Thank you so much. As always, we'll see you at the All-Star game, if not sooner. Thank you very much.
Charles.